South Africa was left reeling tonight after President Cyril Ramaphosa made a shocking and emotionally charged revelation about the circumstances surrounding the death of former Minister Mthethwa. What began as a routine press briefing quickly turned into a moment of truth that sent tremors through the governing African National Congress, ANC, and the public alike. The entire nation seemed to pause, shaken to its very core by what the president had to say. For weeks, the country had been buzzing with rumors about Dera's sudden and suspicious passing. Whispers filled the air, gossip spread like wildfire, and blame was tossed around in political circles. Yet no one expected President Ramaphosa to address the matter so openly, or with such visible emotion. As he stood before a room filled with reporters, his expression betrayed clear tension. The cameras clicked, murmurs rippled through the hall, and then silence descended. After a brief pause, he began to speak in a trembling but resolute voice. "South Africa needs the truth," he said gravely. "Mthethwa's death was no accident, and I will not pretend otherwise. There are forces within and outside our institutions that did not want him alive." His words, simple yet explosive, rocked the nation's political foundations. Never before had Ramaphosa spoken so explicitly or forcefully about the alleged assassination of a fellow comrade. Journalists in the room described the atmosphere as electric, the air thick with disbelief as they processed what they had just heard. The president's tone darkened as he continued, hinting that certain individuals within the ANC might have known more than they had ever admitted publicly. "There are things I have witnessed in recent days that deeply unsettle me," he said. "Some of those we once trusted, those who swore allegiance to our struggle, have betrayed that very allegiance." Analysts immediately dissected his remarks, wondering whether he was alluding to an internal conspiracy or sending a warning to the powerful factions that had long influenced the ANC from behind closed doors. A senior party insider, speaking anonymously, described the address as a quiet declaration of war within the ANC's upper ranks, a signal that the president was ready to confront corruption and decay head-on. Ramaphosa's remarks reportedly stemmed from a classified intelligence briefing he received days earlier. According to confidential sources, this report included new evidence collected by police, previously unseen CCTV footage, phone records, and testimonies from close associates that contradicted earlier claims labeling Dera's death as accidental. Insiders revealed that the footage showed suspicious activity around Dera's hotel room just hours before his body was found. Two unidentified individuals were seen entering the corridor, one allegedly using a security pass linked to a high-ranking government official. If verified, these findings would point to a deliberate, politically motivated killing rather than a tragic accident. Inside Luthuli House, the ANC's headquarters, Ramaphosa's statement reportedly sparked chaos. Senior members were seen making urgent phone calls while others held closed-door meetings. Whispered conversations filled the halls as party officials debated the implications of the president's words. Some believed Ramaphosa had chosen this moment to publicly distance himself from internal factions possibly tied to Dera's death. Others thought his outburst was spontaneous, a mix of grief, anger, and moral exhaustion. Either way, the impact was seismic. ANC veterans immediately called for a closed-door meeting with the president to seek clarification. Meanwhile, opposition parties seized the opportunity. The Democratic Alliance, DA, demanded a full parliamentary inquiry into Dera's death, and the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, accused the ANC government of harboring murderers within its ranks. On social media, outrage and disbelief exploded. South Africans flooded X, formerly Twitter, with hashtags like #Ramaphosa, #Mthethwa, and #TruthForMthethwa. If the president says it wasn't an accident, then someone powerful has blood on their hands, one user wrote. Another warned, Ramaphosa just lit a political bomb, he might not live to see the explosion. As he concluded his speech, the president's composure faltered. His voice quivered when he spoke of his personal bond with the late minister. "Mthethwa was like a brother to me," he said softly. He served this country with loyalty, even when it cost him dearly. Those who betrayed him have betrayed South Africa itself. I promise you, the truth will come out. His words painted the portrait of a leader torn between duty and grief, burdened by truths he could no longer conceal. Analysts now believe Ramaphosa's statement could mark a defining moment, not only for the investigation into Dera's death but for his presidency as a whole. Police sources confirm that a special task force has been established under direct presidential supervision to reopen the case and re-examine every piece of evidence, regardless of political consequence. Reports also surfaced of a confidential witness possessing documents and recordings that may implicate influential political and business figures in what some insiders have described as a coordinated silencing. As days pass, tensions in South Africa continue to rise. The public grows increasingly frustrated, anxious, and hungry for answers. Each new revelation deepens the mystery. Did Dera uncover something he was never meant to see? Was his death part of a broader conspiracy to conceal corruption within the state? And who exactly was Ramaphosa referring to when he vowed that those responsible would face justice? These questions have gripped the nation, fueling speculation and eroding what little faith remains in government institutions. Within the ANC, divisions have become more pronounced. Some members applaud Ramaphosa's courage, interpreting his actions as a long overdue stand against corruption. Others, however, view his words as reckless and destabilizing, fearing they could tear the party apart during a period already fraught with internal strife. A former cabinet minister, speaking anonymously, said, "The president has crossed a line. He's calling out ghosts many hoped would stay buried." Political experts warn that this crisis could reshape the balance of power within the ANC and across South Africa. If evidence of political interference proves credible, the fallout could be catastrophic, potentially triggering resignations, criminal charges, or even early elections. For Ramaphosa, the stakes could not be higher. His administration, already battered by economic turmoil, corruption scandals, and growing public disillusionment, now teeters on the brink. Across the country, citizens remain glued to their screens as news outlets replay the president's speech and commentators scrutinize every pause and phrase. In cafes, workplaces, and neighborhoods, heated debates rage over what lies ahead. If even the president fears for his life, one Cape Town resident told reporters, then no one in this country is safe. We deserve answers. As night falls, a sense of uncertainty hangs heavy over South Africa. What began as a tragic death has evolved into a mirror reflecting the deep fractures in the nation's political and moral foundations. Whether this moment ushers in truth and justice, or fades into yet another scandal, depends on the choices made in the coming days. But one thing is undeniable: President Cyril Ramaphosa has triggered a political earthquake, and its aftershocks are only beginning to be felt. The nation now holds its breath, haunted by a single, unrelenting question: who wanted Dera silenced?